to the cloud. So I am really glad you guys are on. First of all, I feel like it's been a year, even though it was like last year, it feels like a year since I last saw you and been connected and even connected to the Mary Kay world because of everything that was going on, which I think you probably, if you didn't hear, I explained it in a short video. But what I want to do before we get into the Boss Babe series is I just want to tell you a few things that are going on with the company and with our unit for this month, January. So in January, let me see if I can do this real fast. Nope, because I didn't really get it up in advance. But so I won't do that. I'm going to just tell you that the visuals for what I'm talking about. They're in a newsletter that came out to you email a couple of days ago. And if you don't see it in your inbox, definitely check like your spam or other mail. And it's also, the visuals are also in boards under this month's happenings. And it's also in star shines on the very top under the featured section. Okay. So Mary Kay is having this really cool bingo challenge. I printed it off. Wait. And so every like two weeks, they're going to put out a simple tasks. And if you fill up the board, you're going to win something. And I can't remember what that is that you're going to win. But like for now, and say like you didn't get week one done, you could still do it. It just is going to be done by the eighth week, which is like 2 months from now. So it says like host an in-person beauty session or facial. So that means like you could sit down one-on-one with somebody and just show her some makeup or skincare, and that's what that would be about. And the second task for these couple of weeks is create a post showing off your favorite Mary Kay products and share it on any social media platform that you're using. And Judy, I know you could totally do this because you've been doing this kind of thing. And then when you post it, you want to do hashtag Mary Kay Bingo, because then Mary Kay will see your post when they click into hashtag Mary Kay Bingo. I won't go into a lot of the technical detail. If anybody has questions on that, I'll explain it. And then you'll see the prize that you'll get for 350 by the 15th. The ring is a really cute ring. It reminds me of the designer David Yurman. I love his stuff. And then for the 600, it's actually this. I've been using it. There's a couple of things I like about this. Well, first of all, it's a stand, okay? And when you have to charge it, it goes through the wire right up here. But I also found that it was very helpful. I did a little explanation on Beauty Brigades about our concealers and our under eye correctors and what to do to prevent it from separating. And so what I did is I had it on my stand, but I reversed the camera, so I never was on camera, just my hands were on camera. I don't know if that makes sense, but I actually got that idea from Rachel Garfield in our unit who lives in Vermont on Wanda's team. And I thought, great, I look like Kaka right now. I don't want my face on screen, but I can show them this. So that is the 600 prize. And then what I want you to know too is this series, it's 6 weeks. I know I only learned about it this morning because I've been out of touch. And so I'm actually gonna get all this posted by tomorrow. And I could send it out to you, but there's a packet that you can print out so that you can look at it as taking a course, so to speak, that will help you reset your mindset. Just get, we always had January Jumpstart, and the purpose of January Jumpstart was to like have a quick jump start to January after you're in the afterglow or the deepest part of winter after the holidays, right? So this is what we're going to be doing for the next 6 weeks. So it's always good to put a little, of your time into it. Now, for tonight, you don't have the packet, and I'm not even sure if we are. Did I press the record button? Chris, did I press the record button?
Yes.
I did. Okay, I'm recording. You know that for sure, for a fact.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. See, I depend on you, Chris. Always did way back in Hackensack, remember? Um, and so that's where my mind is. My mind is like mush. It'll clear up hopefully. So anyway, I just want to give you what to kind of listen for in this. It's short, so it's like going to be under 15 minutes. And it's Lisa Madsen, as I mentioned. And if you want to take notes on her story, go ahead, but then you can print this out. And there's going to be points just for watching live. There'll be points for, different things. I'm not going to try to recall them, and it'll all be posted tomorrow. But jot down this question. What was it time for her to do? Like, so you can be listening for that answer. What was it when you hear her speak? What was it that it was time for her to do? And we'll see if you caught the answer at the end. Um, and you're not getting prizes based on right or wrong answers. That's just to help you catch things. Um, and how did she get into immediate action? So, so what was it time for her to do, and how did she get into immediate action? And in what way does her story inspire you? There's no right or wrong answer to that. I would love for you to write down how it inspired you and what was your biggest takeaway. Okay, so based on that, because Chris assured me I recorded it, I am going to share the video, and um, you just have to give me feedback that you can hear it. Okay, wait, I have to, oh, wait. You- Is this already up? Oh yes, look, it's already up. That's what the problem is. Okay, here we go. Just to let me know if you can hear it once I get it started.
National Sales Director Emeritus. Wow. Still surreal to say. Lisa Madsen is my name. I'm recording this in December, but by the time you hear this, I will officially be retired. And I have to tell you, I never thought this day would really come. I signed up at 26 years old, and now I'm 65 and a half. I grew up in this business, you guys. Mary Kay shaped my entire life. So when I think about this, it's time series, I smile because I know that those words really mean it's time. It's time to stop waiting. It's time to stop wondering. It's time to stop procrastinating. It's time to take action on the dream in your heart. And my story is proof that the moment you decide it's time, everything changes. When I look back on my journey, one thing stands out. I got into action immediately. On day one, the day I signed my independent beauty consultant agreement, my sales director told me to get 5 bookings. So I got 5 bookings. Then she said, get 8. So I got 8. Then she said, get 12. So I got 12. Then she said, that's awesome. Now get 15. And I remember looking at her like, are you kidding me? I only have 2 sisters and I already made one of them book 2. But here's the truth. Action creates confidence. Action builds courage. Action produces results. And from those 12 bookings, because I learned how to get my bookings from my bookings, I held 102 parties my very first year. Not because I was good, it's because I was consistent. And that consistency gave me confidence. The 5 things I did consistently are Number one, I booked. Number two, I coached. Number three, I sold. Number four, I rebooked. And number five, I team built. Every party, every week, every month. It wasn't glamorous. It wasn't complicated. It was simply consistent. In November of 1987, just 1 year after I began my career, I earned the use of my first Mary Kay career car. And then something interesting happened. I stopped recruiting. I didn't have a new goal. And I started thinking. I started analyzing. I didn't want to bother anyone. I didn't fully understand the big picture of what Mary Kay could do for someone else. I was more worried about what people thought of me than what this opportunity could mean for them. My sales director stepped in and said something that changed the entire trajectory of my life. She said, Lisa, you need a new goal. She told me I needed to become a sales director. I had every excuse ready to go. I can't. I'm pregnant. I'm due in March. This was January. It's not good timing. I'm not ready. But she knew. She knew if I didn't get into motion again, I would go backward instead of forward. So I submitted my letter in January to become a sales director. January, February, March. The baby was due in March. Terrible timing? Absolutely. But timing doesn't create success. Action does. And because I worked full circle, booking, coaching, selling, rebooking, and team building, I became a sales director on May 1st. Was it easy? There'd be a no. I had a problematic pregnancy and was on bed rest the last 2 weeks before my son was born. Since I got all my parties from my parties and my bookings from my bookings and my team members from my parties, it really slowed me down. But I didn't give up. My phone worked and so did my mouth. So I called people. I had Kyle on a Saturday and I was back at my Monday night meeting 9 days later with guests. We finished on May 1st. So baby Kyle went to a lot of interviews with me and he helped me to team build because they thought it was pretty cool that I could do this with my baby. Fast forward 10 months. It's January 1989. I remembered something important. The January before, I had 10 parties on my books when I went into DIQ, and I knew that's why I moved so fast. So I told my new unit of 10 months to get 10 parties on their books for the month of January. And to help them do that, I even suggested that they offer a hostess special, 10% off for the entire year of 1989 if she would hold a party and bring some friends. Ladies, it worked. My date book filled. My team's date book filled. And momentum exploded. And because of that explosive January, my brand new unit, only 10 months old, became the number 4 unit in the Ruby seminar. People looking at the Applause magazine were thinking, who is Lisa Madsen? I've never heard of her. That's what happens when you combine urgency, bookings, consistency, and a clear January strategy. Some of you might think, well, I don't want to give away 10% off for the year. Ladies, listen. If she buys $200 from you all year long, that's $20 in free product. If she buys $1,000 all year long, she saves $100 retail. It's not that much. And you can adjust the percentage if you want to, but you need new people. You need to meet new people. So if you get a hostess to hold the party and bring people, that will help you to do that. You get new customers because you offered a discount. You get new bookings because you offered a discount, and you get new team members. And team members equal commissions. Commissions equal growth, and growth equals choices. You can even do it if you want 15% off for the first 15 days of January and 10% off for the last 16 days. Create the urgency. Create the urgency. Kit and commit. Some of you have heard this. Booking 8 parties in a 2-week period. This Kit and Commit challenge ties beautifully into the strategy of what I'm talking about right now. Some of the national sales directors were at a national sales director meeting, and I want to just shout out to Kim McClure, Heidi Gelzer, Kristen Sharp, Brittany Jenks, and Julia Monday Garner. They are the ones that came up with Kit and Commit. Consultants were booking 8 parties in a 2-week period to hold by December 15th. It's really the old perfect start that Mary Kay Ash taught us. What's old is new. So I'm challenging you to book a minimum of 8 parties in a 2-week period. And if you want explosive growth, go ahead and book 10 or even 12. But don't just write the goal. Put a highlighter block around the specific times in your calendar that you can hold the parties, create the space, and then fill the space. And when those parties hold early in the month, rebook for the second half of January. You will amaze yourself. Courage isn't the absence of fear. Let's talk about fear. I had fear every step of the way. Fear of getting the first 5 bookings. Fear of asking the bookings from bookings. Fear of doing my first parties. Fear of becoming a sales director while pregnant. Fear of stretching into every new level that I achieved on the career path. But here's what I learned. Courage isn't the absence of fear. Courage is moving forward, even with the fear. If I had waited to feel brave, I would still be sitting there with my unopened inventory covered in hives, because that's what happened when my inventory arrived when I was a brand new consultant. I would have been sitting there wondering if I could succeed. You build courage by doing the things you're afraid of. This is your it's time moment. If I could go from a nervous, insecure 26-year-old hoping to make $70 a week to lead a world-class national area to retiring with over 17 millions in commissions throughout my 39-year journey, then what's possible for you? Your miracle year doesn't start with certainty. It starts with a decision. It's time. It's time to believe. It's time to move. It's time to say yes. It's time to go for it. It's time to book the parties. It's time to take the action. It's time to step into the dream God placed in your heart. You are one decision away from a completely different year, and maybe even a completely different life. Don't wait for courage. Don't wait for perfect. Just decide, because God already equipped you. Now it's time to move. It's time. May God bless you. May God bless every effort you make. And may He multiply your courage, your joy, and your results. Dream big, work hard, and enjoy every moment of your journey, because 2026, it's your time. Thank you.
So, wait, now we've got. So, Judy, I'm thinking you're there and you're just invisible, but if you can,
Yes, I am. I'm here. I just,
are you, wait, are you sick?
yeah, I'm sick. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know. Thanks for getting on. So I don't believe that this is on Facebook, but at least I recorded it. I could put the link. And one of the things that you guys aren't aware yet, because I didn't post how you can win prizes, is that in this discussion, which is going to be short, and in this discussion, that you just give me your feedback. You know, if people are on Facebook, they can, type it in. You could put it in the chat, or you could just verbally tell me. But um, uh, wait, I took my little notes here. So what action, what does, do you remember in the beginning, What did she say that action does? What does action do? Now, this wasn't something I told you to look out for, but I want to highlight it.
Yeah.
Do
She said, action builds courage.
Yeah, confidence. That's right.
Okay.
Action builds confidence. Guys probably heard the old saying that do the thing you fear, and the fear will, how does that saying go? But you know what I'm talking about. Do the thing you fear, and fear will go away. And, face the fear, it disappears. It's all the same thing. So taking action builds confidence. And Judy, do you happen to remember the other thing she said that builds confidence? She didn't highlight it, but she said that what does action do? It builds confidence. And then she said consistency builds confidence too. So think about it, like when you're in the mode of like booking, say regularly, or whatever new thing you're learning or doing, and you do it regularly, your confidence builds. And then when you stop and you have to go back to it, the confidence isn't there. So when you want to make a change in Mary Kay business or in some area of your life you're trying to do, then doing it regularly actually is easier than doing it sporadically. It builds confidence. And I could totally give you my pickleball example because I recently joined a pickleball club that opened up near me. And, I'm not athletic. So I was starting to get there. Like I would call myself an advanced beginner. Okay. So when I say get there, it's not like advanced. But now, after a few weeks of being away, oh my gosh, I was so not confident. And I almost didn't go today because of yesterday's performance. Not that it's a performance, it's a hobby, but still, taking action, just getting into it builds confidence. Consistency builds confidence. Do you guys remember Lisa said it was time to do when she had that strong start and she, booked, listen, in the beginning, she booked her 5, her 10, her 12. And her first year, she held like 102 classes. Now, and then I guess something happened. And what did her director tell her what it was time to do? What she needed? What did she need? Her director told her it was time to set a new goal. Remember that? And she said no, because I'm pregnant, blah, 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 all these good reasons. But her director knew that if she didn't get into action, she would have just spiraled downward. And I know I see this a lot. So sometimes what we need to do is set a new goal. And and then that will get you into action. So if you remember, in January, she had the idea her unit needed momentum too, and she knew that last January she had 10 bookings on her books. Now that didn't mean they were going to all hold, but 10 bookings gave her the momentum. And in the olden days I remember as a consultant and a new director, when we went to seminar, there was always a challenge that before seminar, that we would get 10 bookings on our date book for when we returned from seminar. Because what happened is you'd go to seminar, get all excited, and then come home with the letdown without a goal. But when we had the 10 bookings on it, it got us into action. And whether those bookings held or didn't hold, whether they were pretty or not so pretty, it did always spur momentum somehow, some way. So, and then also Lisa had a tip for you and for you to create too for customers. Create I don't want to be any, create the urgency by having, like, Mary Kay creates urgencies for us by having deadlines. We have a deadline for a month end to get it, this or that. We have a deadline for when you go into DIQ, 4 months, and you have a deadline for earning a diamond ring or a prize, whatever. They have lots of different levels so everybody could play at the level of their choice, but there's always a deadline. So they create a sense of urgency. And what Lisa suggested was that we can create an urgency by having a special for your customers. If they book here, then they could get, like what she suggested, a 10, or I would do maybe a 15 or even a 20% discount for the, next 6 months or 12 months. You can make it your own. But by book, that created an urgency for all the customers who would want that year-long discount, right? By having a party of in a certain time period, you would create the urgency. And then you would meet new people because the hostess, the customer who wanted the discount for the whole year, was inviting a few of her friends that now became new customers for you. So create the urgency. Just like Mary Kay, we all get our taxes in because the government creates an urgency. We have a deadline. So create an urgency for yourself. It's amazing when people have a wedding coming up, whether it's their son or daughters, whether it's their own, and then there's the urgency of a deadline, and they lose a certain amount of weight. So, and they get the arrangements made and all of that. And then you're going to see that you're going to have the opportunity to earn points for what Lisa Madsen was talking about, the kit and commit, which was really the old Power Start. The kit and commit, the original format is doing it in person. To me, it could be in person or it could be on Zoom or Facebook or however you want to do it. But when you book 8 to hold 5 in a 2-week period, and you hold those 5 in a 2-week period by February 15th, there's going to be even more points. It will all be on the chart tomorrow. But do you know why they say to book 8 in order to hold 5? I bet you know the answer to that, right? Chris, I see you nodding.
They all won't hold.
Exactly. We can promise you. I remember being so worried. How am I going to hold them all? Exactly. And sometimes now it's book 8 to hold 4, but book 8 to hold 5. And like Lisa Madsen said, if you really want momentum, book 10. So, look out tomorrow for and I'll probably send it to you guys too. Look out for that. Oh, and one last thing. One challenge that's on this month is the Grand Day Challenge. So and I'll send this to you because my being out of the, what do you call it? Out of it. My being out of it is causing you to be out of it right now. But I'll get all of this tomorrow. But the Grand Day Challenge. So when you have 5 Grand Days, you're winning 1 level prize. When you have 10 Grand Days, you're winning a higher level prize. And remember, if you should happen to sell $300 in one day, that counts as 3 Grand Days. So if you had a party and the sales were like $298, you might want to make sure, like, have an incentive for somebody to buy something at half price, an extra eyeshadow or something, or make a few phone calls to your customers to see if they're running low on anything. So that will be on there. And this will all be way more organized by next Tuesday. I get my game in place. And anyway, I really appreciate you guys so much. And I really want the very, very best for you, whatever it is you want for 2025, 26, 26. Health, happiness, prosperity, everything. So thanks for tuning in. I said it would be from 7 to 7:30, trying to keep my promise. And I'll see you next Tuesday. Okay? All right. Love you guys. Bye.
Thank you. Bye now.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Feel better, Judy. Feel
Thank
better.
you. Thank you.